Now at 10, the Joplin Interfaith Coalition's annual bake sale was held today to raise funds for refugee and immigrant services. Plus, Pitt State hosted the FBLA State Leadership Competition. And the Bicknell Center held an international night for the Pittsburgh community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Cale Chapman. Operation Christmas Shoebox is a gift for millions of children across the world. KOAM's Carrie Worthen has more on this story.
Operation Christmas Child is a project that delivers joy of what for many kids is their first gift ever. Evangeline Frazon is not only a speaker for Operation Shoebox, but received her own shoebox when she was just 13 years old, living in the Philippines.
So when I received my shoebox, it just felt like I have a heavenly Father who would never leave me nor forsake me, just like my earthly father. And also that somebody cared for my family. You know, that shoebox that full of school supplies that I get to use the following year in school, it was very helpful for my mom to not worry about what to buy for me to use for the next school year. And so, yes, that box meant a lot to me.
This project started in 1993 and has reached more than 198 million children in more than 170 countries. Frazon now travels to share how important this one shoebox can mean to a child. Heather Minzer is a mother of 3 and the coordinator for the Southeast Operation Christmas Child.
I can only imagine a child who, doesn't have anything to call their own. They may not even have a toothbrush. They may not have a doll to hug. I mean, we've got like 25 stuffed animals. They may not have anything to call their own.
Personally, this is just another avenue that on a greater scale where we can bring Jesus to the world.
This year, Southeast Kansas volunteers hope to collect more than 6,500 shoeboxes to contribute to reach the goals of 11 million children.
Not only I encourage them to pack a shoebox, but also share the gospel to the people around the world. It's amazing.
In Pittsburgh, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
The project has handed out their 200 millionth shoebox this past year. If you'd like to learn more about this amazing operation, you can visit our website at koamnewsnow.com. The Joplin Interfaith Coalition's annual bake sale was held today to raise funds for the Refugee and Immigrant Services and Education Driven to Drive program. The program works to empower refugees in the community to learn safe driving skills. The group is going to use the funds to buy a driving simulator to educate and help individuals they serve practice their driving skills.
If you guys are looking forward to potentially partnering with us to welcome a family or build a team, what we would call a welcome team, around a family that's coming, please reach out to us at raisecommunity.org in our volunteer page.
Raise will continue to fundraise for their goal on social media and their website. The International Student Association at Pittsburgh State University hosted the ever-popular International Food and Culture Fair today at the Bicknell Center Family for the Arts. The event featured international cuisine and cultural performances of music and dance. The event is open to the public and was sponsored by the International Student Organization and the Office of International Programs and Services.
I feel really good. I'm super proud of my team because without my team, this was not possible. So I feel like it was pretty good and I'm super excited to see them around. There's so many people I know and I feel super good because taking the leadership role for such a big organization.
The International Student Association hosts several events throughout the year for Pittsburgh State students and the wider public. Pittsburgh State University hosted the State Future Business Leaders of America Leadership Competition for the first time today. Over 70 students from universities around the state gathered on Pitt State's campus to compete in a variety of events. Students involved in FBLA work to hone their business skills in different areas, including sports management, marketing, community service, and interviewing.
And so what it does is allow students to really kind of prepare for the real business world, and the competitions and events that they're competing in range from online computerized tests to one-on-one business presentations, to accounting exams, to finance tests, those kinds of things. So it really kind of helps take what's from the classroom and prepare them for the real business world.
Oh, 100%. It's a great resume builder. You do so many different things. You get to practice. Today I have job interviews, so I'll be able to practice what a job interview would look like. So you pick whatever you're going to apply for, and then you do a mock interview basically for it. So it's a great practice for a future job application.
Those that place today will be eligible for competition at Nationals in Atlanta later this year. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for a first look at the weather.
Thank you very much. It was a beautiful day across the area. Radar is clear right now, but that's going to be changing in our forecast. But tonight we're going to be seeing temperatures dropping through the 40s all the way down to about 40 degrees by morning. The big story tomorrow is going to be the winds. We're going to start out with winds in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range, but by about 10 o'clock and noon, we're going to see winds out of the south at about 30, maybe gusting up to 35 miles per hour by afternoon. Then the winds will start to slacken off as we head towards evening hours. Looking down the lane, we have a warm, windy Sunday on tap and then a nice Monday, but then rain starts to move in on Tuesday, and that rain sticks around all week long, and that could have implications in our forecast as far as flooding goes, and I'll tell you all about that in just a little bit.
Eli Lilly, one of the largest insulin manufacturers, has changed a long-standing trend of rising prices by capping costs, relieving millions of Americans.
The medications we're talking about, patients have to have in order to maintain their life.
It's a common problem for Ann Pace at Kavanaugh Pharmacy,
Or they're going to have to adjust how much they're using, maybe suboptimally, because they can't afford to get their insulins.
Life-saving medication, too expensive but desperately needed. Some of these vials are over $200, but that's going to change.
Insulin is a life-needed medication for patients that are diabetics. It shouldn't be cost prohibitive for patients to do that.
Eli Lilly, one of the largest manufacturers of insulin, has changed a long-standing trend of rising prices by capping the cost. Insulin manufactured by the company will have a maximum price of $35 a month. For the millions of Americans who have diabetes, that's huge. Just ask Dr. Joseph Henske.
I'm excited about it because I use insulin, and just like anyone else, it's expensive.
Besides his own personal experience, Dr. Henske is also the director of diabetes for UAMS, working daily with patients who also know how expensive insulin can be.
Yeah, it's long overdue. I think people have been pushing for this, and it was just a matter of time.
Dr. Henske says it's a relief for those struggling under rising costs, and it could also help encourage other companies to do the same.
This is going to definitely start a cascade of events where other companies are going to match this, if not try to beat it.
Back at Kavanaugh Pharmacy, Pace is ready for the change, but she warns they'll need a little bit of patience, especially for an impact as big as this.
My guess is that patients will have those lower copays. The insurance companies will then work with Eli Lilly on those drugs, and they'll figure out how the cost is going to be made up there.
Coming up, sports director Jacob Leonard joins us from Kansas City with an update from the MIAA Basketball tournament. Plus, more and more politicians are releasing their bids for election. The Missouri Southern women's basketball team is still alive in the MIAA tournament in Kansas City. The Lions play in the semifinals tonight, aiming to move on to the tournament championship. Sports director Jacob Leonard is in Kansas City and has more on tonight's game.
The Missouri Southern women have a chance to move on to the MIAA Tournament Championship for the second straight season here in Kansas City. To do that, though, they got to go through the #1 seed in the bracket, facing the Nebraska Kearney Lopers tonight. Southern was 0-2 against the Lopers in the regular season. The Lions come out hot early. Lacey Stokes pull-up jumper. Southern opens with an 8-0 run. They're up 1 going to the second. Now in the second, Kearney briefly takes the lead. Alyssa Backus knocks down the 3. But Chrislyn Jones has the answer for Southern. Jones with a deep ball of her own. Lions hold a 29-23 lead at the break. Now third quarter, Lacey Stokes was unstoppable. Pulls up and buries the 3. Then Stokes gets to the lane, spins and scores. 14 in the third quarter alone for Stokes. She finishes with 28. The Lions punched their ticket to the tournament championship, knocking off Nebraska Kearney tonight 63-51.
Defensively, we did a great job of taking them out of what they wanted to do. We did a great job of rebounding the ball. Both games that we lost to them earlier in the year, they out-rebounded us pretty good on both games. It was nice for us to do a great job on the boards. Can't say enough about this group right now, how they're playing.
I think it's just us playing for each other and playing together the whole 40 minutes and, always being there to help and just being there for each other. That's really the main thing, just playing together. We say that all the time, just play together.
Last year, I think we let one go, and so we're ready, to be back in it, and we're prepared this time. We have more experience than we did last time, and so to have that experience going into this game, I think is going to give our team a lot of confidence.
Missouri Southern now moves on to play for the MIAA Tournament Championship here in Kansas City, which is scheduled for tomorrow afternoon. Reporting in Kansas City, Jacob Leonard, KOAM Sports.
The D2 Women's Basketball National Tournament Selection Show will be tomorrow night at 9:30. A little later, a new development in the Oakland ransomware attack. We'll have the details.
And we're going to have the details on your wet week forecast when we come back after the break. Well, we have started off the weekend great with lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, and light winds. But tomorrow, winds are going to pick up a little bit, but still pretty nice. Let's take a look at what happened today in Seneca, Missouri, to Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. You can see the clouds moved in this morning, and then as the day wore on, we saw lots of sunshine, just a few thin cirrus clouds, and a beautiful sunset once again across the area. And right now we're looking at pretty fair skies as well. 60 degrees was what we made it up to after starting out at 36, which was above the normals of 56 and 34. And we're ahead on the rainfall, and that's going to be dramatically increasing as we go through the week. Right now, the only river that we are concerned about right now is Flat Rock Creek over there near Jenkins, Missouri in Berry County. That is the only stream that right now has some very minor flooding, but we're going to keep an eye on that as we head through the rest of the week. Radar is clear right now. We are watching a few clouds moving in from the north and west, but nothing really major. We have to go all the way out to the west coast before we start to see the next storm system, and it's a powerful one. That's going to move towards our area as we head through the rest of the week, and that's when the rain chances are going to dramatically increase, especially starting on Tuesday. This afternoon, though, highs were in the 60s across the area, and now we're looking at temperatures falling down into the 40s across the region, 43 in Lamar, 39 already in Pittsburgh, 47 down in Pineville. Dew points, they're starting to increase just a little bit too, generally in the 30s and 40s, 34 in Yates Center and 37 over there in Fort Scott. Let's take a look outside right now in Joplin, 46 degrees, east wind at 6, it feels like 43, dew point is 37, and the pressure at 30.06. You can see the flag not flying here in Pittsburgh, so it's calm. 39 is what it feels like because that's the actual temperature. Dew point is 38, so we're pretty high on the humidity. Wouldn't be surprised to see some patchy, dense fog as you head out to church in the morning. Temperatures this evening are going to be dropping through the 40s into the 30s, especially up towards the north. And by morning, we'll have southeasterly winds. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny, a little bit on the windy side, so hang on to your hat, with temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. And then as we go through Sunday night into Monday, much milder with lows only in the 50s with south winds. Here comes the front dropping down from the north and west. Not really going to change our temperatures all that much. We'll still make it into the 60s Monday afternoon. Then the front sails through, our wind turns around to the northeast. So we'll be a little bit cooler on Tuesday morning with lows in the 30s and the 40s. Precipitation amounts, they're going to be pretty impressive if this model verifies. We'll have to wait and see, but we're looking at rainfall amounts at several inches by the time this is all over with on Friday. And then on top of that, we have cold air coming in behind it, and that's going to stick around for a while. We're going to be looking at a cold wave lasting probably right on up until the latter part of March. Let's take a look at the next 7 days though. 71 tomorrow, windy, and then Monday's not too bad either, increasing clouds, but the rain arrives on Tuesday. And like I said, that lasts all the way through till next weekend with temperatures falling down into the 30s next week. So winter is certainly lurking in the background.
Yeah, we're getting back to those colder temps for sure.
Yeah, up and down.
All righty. Well, thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
And don't forget, you can always be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Again, that's the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, more presidential hopefuls have entered the election buzz, and how local businesses in Oakland are dealing with the city's cyber attack. With the field of potential Republican candidates for the 2024 presidential nomination growing, the annual Conservative Political Action Conference is taking place today in Maryland. Former President Donald Trump is making the key speech wrapping up the closely watched annual event. The event comes amid swirling questions about whether President Biden will announce he's seeking re-election. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavidez reports from Miami, Florida.
As former President Donald Trump begins to make his 2024 White House bid, he delivered the headliner speech at the annual Conservative Political Action Conference just outside the nation's capital.
If those opposing us succeed, our once beautiful USA will be a failed country that no one will even recognize, a lawless, open borders, crime-ridden, filthy communist nightmare.
Mr. Trump is under multiple investigations for his handling of classified documents as well as actions surrounding the January 6th insurrection and his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results.
When will you announce your re-election, sir?
Meanwhile, President Biden's anticipated but unannounced re-election run comes amid ongoing questions about the 80-year-old president's age and health. His longtime physician has confirmed a lesion removed from his chest last month was cancerous. The doctor said the president has healed nicely. CBS News has confirmed the Biden team is working to put together an advisory board of high-profile Democrats to help unify the party. On Sunday, the president is set to speak in Selma, Alabama, to mark the 58th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, a flashpoint in the U.S. civil rights movement. In Southern California, another potential Republican challenger, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, is scheduled to deliver remarks at the Reagan Library. Christian Benavidez, CBS News, Miami.
Former President Trump won the Conservative Political Action Conference's straw poll by a wide margin today, with Florida Governor DeSantis coming in second place. Outside Springfield, Ohio, a second train has derailed. The Clark County Sheriff's Office has confirmed deputies are on scene of a train derailment late this afternoon. Deputies and medics responded to the area of State Route 41 and Gateway Boulevard near the Clark County Fairgrounds around 5 p.m. Dispatchers confirm that they are on scene, but no other information was available at this time. A hazmat crew is confirmed to be on scene. The State Highway Patrol and Clark County Sheriff's Office are also on scene. A new development in the Oakland ransomware attack. The city says computer hackers breached the city network in early February and have stolen files, holding them hostage for almost a month. Now they're saying some of that information has gotten out. Da Lin reports.
Some city services are back online. For example, people can now pay their parking tickets. They can also call into 311 to alert the city to downed trees and other issues. But many other phone lines and the website to pay business taxes are still down.
We try to go on there and pay our taxes, and now we have to wait to pay our taxes.
This restaurant owner says it's not a bad thing to hold on to her money a little longer, but it is an inconvenience to keep checking with the city to see when she can pay to avoid late fees.
Especially a small business owner, we have a lot on our plate and a lot of things that we have to maneuver through, and then let alone we have to maneuver through what's going on.
The Oakland business tax due date was on March 1st. It's been extended to April 17th since the website doesn't work.
The first Native American restaurant here in Oakland.
Krista Wapipa opened Wapipa's Kitchen in the Fruitvale Village more than a year ago. She worries hackers could have stolen sensitive financial data that businesses reported to the city.
That's being released of how much we make, how much we don't make. I find it very scary.
The city of Oakland says it's still investigating what data was stolen from its computer network and what's been released. But they've asked city workers to monitor their bank statements and credit cards.
If they have information on the city, that includes all employees and all of us. And anyone that's done any transactions with the city.
Councilman Noel Gallo says the city is working with the FBI and cybersecurity experts to resolve the issue. He would not say how much money the hackers are demanding from the city, but admits it's in the millions.
We have enough challenges, but with this one, it impacts all of us. And sadly enough, if money's going to be involved, then it's going to be our taxpayer dollars that cover the cost.
As for Crystal, she hopes the city will learn from this and do a better job of securing people's information.
Even to be tripled secured.
The city of Oakland says it will notify anyone whose personal information is involved once they figure it out. The driver of a tanker truck that exploded and caught fire on a Maryland highway has died. State police are still trying to determine why the tanker truck flipped over in Frederick today. The explosion and fire on Route 15 sent flames and smoke billowing into the air. The fire was so intense it spread to nearby homes and vehicles. No one else was hurt. Firefighters are on scene to control the fire and prevent it from spreading and to clean up the mess. We'll be right back with more after this. A member of the Beehive is also a member of the United States House of Representatives. Representative Robert Garcia gave a nearly minute-and-a-half long speech on the House floor Wednesday, applauding the accomplishments of the Queen Bee herself. Garcia said the Grammy Award-winning singer and artist is the exact right person to commemorate the end of Black History Month and celebrate the start of Women's History Month. Throughout his speech, Garcia used titles from Beyonce's songs over the years and said seeing her in concert changed his life.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to commemorate the end of Black History Month and the beginning of Women's History Month by honoring an individual who represents both so well. She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is now and forever the moment. I want to celebrate none other than who I believe is the undisputed queen of pop and R&B, Beyonce Knowles Carter.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd love to be brought up and honored in some kind of congressional speech. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe someday.
One day. Yeah.
We're having a nice weekend. Temperatures in the 70s tomorrow, and then that continues into Monday. Rain starts Tuesday, and that could last right on through next weekend, and could be heavy rain, and then turning much colder after that. And then beyond that forecast, it could even get colder, Cale. So it looks like winter is going to try to hang on just a little bit longer. So the groundhog may actually end up being right this year.
Yeah, you know, I was scared that he might be.
I know, me too.
Who knows? And we're getting ready to spring those clocks forward.
That's right. That's next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to be late for church on Sunday, next Sunday.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't want to be late to work either.
Exactly.
All righty. Well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us a part of your night.